but that's why it was weird to me, because then they position, by doing that Jaws homage, they kind of position this dinosaur to be we'll say the bad guy.
Yeah.
But then 10, 15 minutes later, it makes the miraculous save to be the hero at the end.
Right.
Like, it's just more evidence that the movie was kind of at war with itself, where
it wasn't sure what it wanted.
Well,
these noble beasts that are animals that should be respected,
or are they fucking serial killers like the Indominus?
Because we fucked with them. They have like this evil seed.
Yeah. And I don't like that the Mosasaur makes the final save. That because I think it undercuts the T-Rex Raptor. You know, the whole thing they were going with, the original always wins out. You know, and I think to have the newer Mosasaur takes that away from them, because that's an awesome battle. That final, like right when she's running and she's like open paddock 9, and you're like, what's going on? And you're like, oh shit, she's getting the T-Rex. And that all of that up until the point where the Mosasaur comes out of nowhere is awesome. But then they kind of just pull the rug out with that scene. And I get it, because the T-Rex in the first one did the same thing.
It's the same T-Rex.
Yeah, which is the same T-Rex, which is awesome.
But this is also the weird thing about that too, is like, why would the Tyrannosaur attack the Indominus? We're already assuming that the Indominus has a heightened intelligence.
Right.
All right? But in theory, the Tyrannosaur is still the beast from the first film.
It's the biggest threat.
That can be distracted by,
Flares
a flare gun.
Yeah.
Why would it not attack the smaller
It would
things?
attack, because...
Or in the face of another larger predator,
I think it's just like what you're saying. You get two alpha predators in the same room, and one has a very aggressive attitude, the Indominus.
Well, that's
the other
like...
one's gonna...
this might be a poor analogy, but is that like saying a wolf will attack a bear?
If it needs to. And you put an aggressive bear and an aggressive wolf in this size room.
Along with, say, a kitten.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
What's
like,
gonna happen?
something that the animals are relatively certain are not a threat, but then you have two animals that are a threat to each other.
Yeah. But we've already established that the only psycho in the room is the Indominus. The other one is just an animal, even a noble animal.
Listen, we needed some way to have
that's what
two
I'm saying.
dinosaurs
It's like,
fight. Okay?
But that's the thing. It wouldn't make sense for it to go after anything other than the biggest threat, because it basically comes around this corner and is like, okay, little morsel I was chasing went that way. Oh, look at that thing.
Yeah.
Which then turns and snarls and is aggressive towards it.
Right.
The Indominus essentially starts that fight.
Right.
And
You know what's awesome is when the T-Rex first comes out and it busts through the Spinosaurus skeleton.
Yeah.
I thought that was a cool little jab at
that was really
Jurassic Park 3, where the Spinosaurus unbelievably breaks the T-Rex neck.
I don't know. That was just another one of my.
That is a weird
audible.
See, I love that fight scene.
I love the fight.
I especially loved right afterwards where Blue and the T-Rex stand there for a second and have that moment of, "Yo, we cool?"
Oh,
yeah,
the grunt moment.
That was my fourth. What audible? What moment?
Well, that's the dance-off scene for you of that movie.
That is the dance-off.
That is the dance-off scene for that movie.
That was
the end. They're animals.
That was the happy ending, though. That was how we got a happy ending for Blue and for the T-Rex.
Oh my god, when Blue was hopping on the T-Rex's back and jumping off of it. It's
and
so fucking cool.
And I was so happy when I saw, because when I first saw Blue jump over, I'm like,
oh shit.
I'm basically saying they're going, "Oh, don't do it."
Yeah.
Don't attack the T-Rex.
Yeah.
And it did it. It stood there for a second, hopped right back over, and started clawing again.
Like,
it's
this is so
yes,
fucking cool.
It's a
man.
It's a
you guys.
You have a raptor and a T-Rex teaming up to fight a combination raptor T-Rex.
You know what? That just brought up, jumping off of your thing of why the T-Rex would attack. The Indominus is part T-Rex, and just like it was part raptor, it had a connection with the raptors. It made the raptors turn on.
That's potential.
Instantly. Why wouldn't it have a connection with the T-Rex?
I can see that now. We're presenting with two T-Rexes of the same ilk, because they're all chicks. They were
anyway, Mama T-Rex, she's had a chip on her shoulder for 22 years.
Yeah.
So
I mean that I can buy that, but them working together, that was a little bit much.
The thing that bummed me out was that the whole marketing of this movie was predicated on Chris Pratt hunting with raptors, and it's literally like 5 minutes of the movie.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh, what is that? I was so ready for this.
Right.
And they kind of just were driving through the forest, and then they're turning on us.
Right.
And
that happened in like 30 seconds.
I would have been more pissed about that if.
Yeah, I guess pissed is a little heavy-handed. But
I would have been more pissed about it if it wasn't for, and I was mad at the time.
yeah.
But because another 10 minutes later is when you have that scene where he's staying there with the two remaining raptors.
Yeah.
Wait, yeah, because there were three.
There were four originally.
Four.
Yeah.
All right, with the three remaining because the one took an RPG to the ass.
Yeah.
But he's staying there with the three remaining ones, and he actually has that like heart-to-heart moment with them of, guys, come on,
Right,
we know each other. I was your alpha.
Yeah.
And like that was kind of cool. And as far as the here is all the realism stuff that needs to happen,
this isn't realism. I'm talking like stuff to make sense.
No, but that's the thing. You're dragging essentially realism into this by saying, well, it doesn't make sense that the Velociraptor acts this way.
Well, why don't we strap guns to them and have them run?
That's Jurassic Park 5.
Why don't we do that? I mean, if we're gonna throw out common sense and reason,
we're not.
Or suspend it.
Can you let me finish a point?
Well, yeah, go ahead.
Can I finish, please?
He does this a lot. Have you noticed, by the way? Have you noticed that he does this a lot? Whenever I'm trying to make a point, he'll interrupt halfway through and tell me it's bullshit.
Gotham.
And Jurassic Park. And S.H.I.E.L.D. Anyways, but yeah.
Hoskins was trying to strap guns to
Like,
it.
you need... With a movie like this, where this is not some serious, gonna-change-your-life movie, it never pretended to be, this big blockbuster Citizen Kane philosophical piece.
Mm-hmm.
Well, here's the promise it made. We're going to show you dinosaurs fucking shit up.
Yeah.
And that's the promise they've made since movie 1. And honestly, I've not seen 3, but
Which is good.
did they break that promise in 3?
No, they give you
All right,
dinosaurs.
so 4
action.
movies
Yeah.
where they have not broken that promise, and I think there are little allowances. Like honestly, Jaws.
Yeah.
You know what? It doesn't make sense for some of the stuff the shark does,
That's
but
true.
we let it go because you know what? That was a cool scene.
Oh,
That was fun. You're not going to this movie because, oh my god, this is gonna be the super real, like this is what would happen, and or everything has to make every little bit of sense, and if I can find a single plot hole, this movie is you need to have some fun with movies. Yes, there are movies which I may seem like a hypocrite because I'll tear apart some movies like Transformers, but I'm not usually tearing apart because, well, that doesn't make sense because, this is how I think a Transformer.
Yeah, that's just not a worthy adaptation.
Usually when I'm tearing something apart like that, it's because I'm a fan of the old cartoon, or in the case of their designs, which some people have tried to pin on the fact that I like the old cartoon. I just literally just don't like their designs. It wouldn't matter if the old cartoon, the Bayformers. It wouldn't matter if the old cartoon existed or not.
Yeah.
But it's stuff like that where, you know what, I'm not gonna bitch about the fact that Bumblebee decided in the first one to do the whole stupid car trouble because you're with the cute girl. Like, how would Bumblebee know to do that? You know what? It doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter.
That was kind of fun.
Yeah.
Oh my god! I just said a scene from that was.
Whoa.
I hate that movie, by the way.
No, I
so
don't think
people
you do
know.
now. You're turning just a little bit.
No, it ain't
No,
gonna
it's not
happen.
happening.
Yeah, but in the
I just threw up
context
in
of
my
the
mouth.
film itself, that's where I have the problems. I can suspend belief as long as it's that kind of crazy.
Well, like
movie.
look at the third one.
But
the third one had
in the context
raptors.
of the film, that's what I have.
The third one's had raptors talking with each other more than Jurassic World did.
They
Yeah.
set a trap.
Well, right, they were like.
But in the beginning of the
communicating like
film,
humans and that.
they established already that they have higher communicative ability than they thought.
Well, yeah.
Yeah.
The tagline.
That
was
so
something
you
has
expect
evolved,
them to
so
call one another and,
Right.
and be able to work together because they already established that.
that they've evolved a little bit on this island.
But why would the Raptors work with a T-Rex? They haven't established that at all.
Because biggest
There's
threat.
no training. There's no
Because
training
it has
involved,
part raptor
which
in
was
it.
part of the thing.
Because-
no, with the T-Rex.
Oh,
Why
why
would-
will it work with
Yeah.
the T-Rex?
Yeah, for that final fight.
Because
I'm
that
sorry.
has no
Because
context
again,
and support.
the biggest threat in the room. The raptor is not seeing the T-Rex as the biggest threat in the room. It's seeing this thing that
That's
It's
not
been
dinosaur.
fighting.
I'm all
been
for
fighting.
that, but why would it leap off and play off moves like we're playing some video game?
You want to know why?
Why?
Because it looks cool.
Right there.
That's the reason. As long as you say that's the
Yeah.
reason, fine.
Yeah.
But don't tell me that it makes complete sense because it doesn't.
I never said that.
Yeah,
Well,
no.
you said I had, in order for it to make sense, I had to suspend my belief for a little bit and make these allowances.
Yeah.
But I'm telling you that part of the movie, which was a big problem for me, is where they said, you know what, it's bullshit, and we have no basis for any of this at all. But here, have fun. And I'm saying you can't.
That's most of the fun
for me
movies.
anyway. I can't do that.
No,
It has to make sense.
I get what you're saying. You there's a level of competency that should be
that
approached
the writer should have.
with movies, right? And
You can't just say, "Oh, it's fun," and then have it and have
and
it.
I don't
It's gotta
think
make sense.
I don't think that's where it loses it for me. I'm okay allowing the raptor to work with the T-Rex just because they're not beasts. They're genetically made creatures. You know, Dominus is even further along than that.
Right.
In fact, oh god, I just blanked out his name. The scientist from the first one.
Woo, woo,
Woo?
yeah.
Woo. In fact, Woo even says, all of this is make believe.
Right,
You know what?
right.
They don't look like real dinosaurs. We've been doing since day one. We've just been patching it.
Right. So them acting a little differently is okay with me. Where I think they dropped the ball is just having reasons for the characters and the dinosaurs doing things. Where like the Indominus is just there to create havoc because.
Right, but
You know? Or Owen there just there's no real arc for Owen. He's just
Right.
there.
He's
you know?
just the good guy.
The good guy, yeah.
but-
And the
but-
kids, you just don't care about. There's no reasoning for them to keep going with this movie. And then
Well, they kind of dropped that whole parents getting divorced thing real quick. Like, it
Yeah.
came out of nowhere and died in the same
right,
scene.
which begs the question.
That
It's
part
you've
was an issue.
You've killed it instantly, so why even start it? You know,
Yeah.
why bring the divorce thing up if you're not even going to follow through?
Because they could have just kept up with, older brother picks on younger brother.
yeah,
Done. That's all.
Yeah,
That,
and like the older brother, why was he so keen to cheat on his girlfriend? A, B. Why does this have anything to do with? What does it have anything to do with the movie?
Right.
You know, there's no reason to keep focusing
Well,
on him like
I
that,
think-
other than him being a girl crazy boy.
Well,
yeah,
that's
I
what I'm
think
saying.
that was
It's-
just kind of there to make him a more human character, to
Right,
like give him
right.
more to
I
his
thought it was
character
a
than
play
be
on
a.
instincts winning out over
Oh, you know
your
what?
cognitive ability.
I didn't think about that.
Yeah.
That's all right. Yeah, I get that.
So
Which
That's a
there's
subtle
one
play
thing I
on it.
want to give the
Should have
series.
followed up on that. Yeah, what's that?
One thing that I want to give the series from movie one all the way through
Yeah.
is, well, after movie one, when scientifically we learned that, dinosaurs probably had feathers and,
Yeah.
all this shit that we learned.
Yeah.
And even stuff like the Triceratops was not a real dinosaur. Neither
Right.
was the Brontosaurus. Neither was,
Yeah.
like, these were all just accidents that we thought science figured out. No.
Well, right, just from discovering.
I want to give this series for just sticking to its guns and going, you know what, this shit looks cool on a screen.
Yeah.
And
Well, that's what Wu was getting at too,
Yeah.
where he was like, I could have made these look like real dinosaurs, but you want them to look like what a general public's idea of dinosaurs are, and they stick to that.
yeah, and it's one of these. I would never begrudge a movie going with actual, like, this is how dinosaurs really looked. You know what, that'd be cool too.
Yeah.
But the fact that this movie, where we have the expectation of this is what a raptor looks like, this is what the T-Rex looks like,
Yeah.
the fact that they stuck to it, and we're like, you know what, cool,
Yeah.
this is our raptor.
Yeah, which is cool. I'm down with that. Even though I really did like the Raptors from 3. And they didn't have that many
I still have
feathers.
to see that.
They didn't
I
look
really
that different from the Raptors of 1 and 2 and 4. The
Right.
only difference was they had a little bit more color.
yeah.
And they had the feathers coming out of their head.
And they were all-
it was just like a crest, really.
But the thing is also they were breeding in the wild.
And they were
So-
and the tagline for that was something has evolved.
Yeah,
so
there could be
was
variation.
there were changes that made sense.
Right.
Even though the story around it is
Yeah.
kind of weak,
Right.
which is a shame because I love Alan Grant. I
Right.
think he's a great character.
Right.
And that might be one of the reasons why I like 3 so much.
Right.
Sorry.
Yeah, go on.
Completely off topic, just found a horrible joke
Oh, no.
that I need to put out there.
Yeah.
Why is Waldo so skinny?
Why?
Because he's too embarrassed to ask someone at the gym to spot him.
Right.
Okay, sorry, getting back on topic.
I just envisioned Waldo being torn apart by a T-Rex.
There you go.
Yeah.
The
it's
T. Well,
pretty
no, because he
awesome.
doesn't move.
You're right.
the Raptors would get him.
The Raptors would get him.